Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to the Between Realities VR podcast. I'm assuming you've been here before, which is why I say welcome back. My name is Alex VR. I am co-host of the show. I have another co-host. This is him right here, living and breathing in the flesh right next to me.
Woo!
That's right. It's Skiva. What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? It's been a fun week, and I am so excited to end this week with this show and with all our people here in chat.
Yes.
I love our people.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We did not do an episode last Friday. I was in the magical walls of Disneyland over in Anaheim, celebrating the anniversary with my wife. We've been married for a year now.
Oh, is that why you're there? With anniversary?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was going to be a family vacation, but then people pulled out, and we were like, well, screw that. We're going anyway, and it's like right at our anniversary time, so we were like, let's go. So, yeah, we did that, and it was awesome. So thank you guys for allowing me to bounce for the weekend last week, and forgive us for not being live, but here we are back again live on a Friday for season 5, episode 13 of the show.
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13. Yeah, I guess we could just keep starting new seasons and getting them to 13 and always have that lucky episode. Yeah, we've had 5 lucky episodes so far of Between Realities. Hello, everyone who is here for the live broadcast. This is an official partnered broadcast of UploadVR.com, and a lot of people will be catching this on Upload after the live broadcast happens, but we know that there are a group of amazing people who come here and join us for the live shows on Friday, and they're here. Paradise Decay being numero uno in my chat.
Diddy.
He showed up early. He was like asking like why we weren't live and all of that, you know, and we had to reprimand him a little bit. So listen, son, if you could just try to be patient in the future, okay? Like we're going to get there. All right, PD. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being on.
Can't wait to have PD on the show one of these days.
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Confirmed.
Paradise
PD.
Decay is coming. Sadly, it's Bradley, a familiar face around here. Thank you for dropping in. Little Mateo 311 dropping in as well.
Mateo.
Of course, we're always huge fans of Mateo and always happy to see him. Oh, a little deliriemVR. What's up, Em? Good to see you. Leroy Dorenberg is here saying we got a cool guest. We do.
Hey there.
We'll get to that in a minute, though. Okay, Leroy. We've got Bluebell. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Bluebell.
It's afternoon for us here. Evening for Bluebell. We're happy to have you with us. Chris Richardson's in the house.
Chris, how's it going?
Ooh, a little Andy's VR Reviews.
Oh, what's up, Andy?
Andy's VR Reviews, catching a live show. That's what's up, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Andy. Fun with the clicks. Early for a change. Yeah, you got to be early. You know, if you want to get in on this right here, this amazing, like, awesome community shout out session, you got to be early. All right. So Fun with Clicks is figuring it out. Good to have you here. We've got Yaps throwing the thumbs up in. Oh, getting things done. What's good, everybody? What's good done? Good to see you.
What's up? How you doing?
Tribe Grey Wolf.
Tribe. The homie.
What's up,
What's
man?
up, dude?
Thanks for coming in, dude. Rezel VR. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Good to see you, Rezel. Hussein X.
Dude, what's up, Hussein?
What's up, people? Oh, is that Chi-Town D? What's up, Chi-Town D?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, good to see you.
How are you doing?
Oh, Obscure Nerd VR, Andy Southern.
Oh, Andy,
He's the
up,
dude.
buddy?
He's been getting busy in his VR stand-up world.
Yeah.
Doing a handful of VR stand-up shows.
Nice.
You should definitely.
He's super funny, so that's great.
Yeah, follow Obscure Nerd Peeps. He's got a great channel, and he does stand-up comedy in VR. It's pretty awesome. Brittany Meland. Oh, that's my wife.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi, my love. Good to see you.
Hi, Alex's love.
It's so weird. It's like so different addressing my wife in the chat and everyone else. Laszlo216, Cleveland represent.
Hey,
that's right.
Laszlo.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Lindsay Sherman in the house. Another great guest this week.
Lindsay is a Patreon.
Whoa.
Thank you very much, Lindsay.
And all the other Patreons, by the way.
Thank you, guys.
Like, we
love you guys.
I want to celebrate our Patreons more, man. We gotta I don't know how, but give us a reason. What can we do to show our appreciation to you, Patreons? We love you dearly, and we want you to know that.
Yeah, give us some suggestions.
Andy's VR Reviews with the very first super chat of the day, with the $5 super chat. How's it going? It's a cute little animated GIF there. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andy's VR Reviews in the house. I'm assuming that's a fantastic channel.
Heck yeah.
It must be, right? VR reviews.
Name.
Yeah, Andy, VR reviews. Yep. Boom. Go subscribe, people.
Yep. Do it.
Snow Toad's here. Evening all.
What's up?
Yeah. Short Stack VR's here. Hey, yo.
Stacks.
We got Stacks. And that's like everybody. Okay?
Stacks just hit 1,000 subs on his YouTube channel. I think I pushed the wrong button. So Stacks at 1,000 subs. He's going to do. Hey, there we go. He's going to be doing all kinds of good stuff with the new tools he has just unlocked from becoming a YouTube partner. So go over there and subscribe because he is a top-notch streamer and video production extraordinaire.
That he is. Sadly, as Bradley says, the amount of VR nerds overwhelm me constantly.
Oh, dude,
I'm right there with you, dude.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yep.
We've got another VR nerd waiting in the wings.
We do.
I just don't want to keep her waiting anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I hear you.
We have had an opportunity to get to know our guests a little bit by attending all of these in-person expos that we're constantly chasing around. And I feel like this has been an inevitability. You know what I mean? After we got to meet her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Known for her introductory to VR videos, known for her work with Live Mixed Reality Capture. She's here with us. It's Adam Bombody. Hello, Adam Bombody.
Hello, long time no see.
I know. It's been like a month and a half.
I don't know. Time flies. You guys are everywhere anyway, so I'm like, I'll run into them eventually.
We try to be. We're trying to be everywhere. This week, we were in San Francisco.
Yes. To be more specific, Burlingame, California, for the opening of the Meta Store.
Yeah, and we ain't even Oculus ambassadors.
No,
so.
we are not.
Boom.
We are not.
Pow.
But there, all the Oculus ambassadors were there, as you guys probably saw on Twitter and Instagram and all these things, and we just went and crashed the party.
We did.
Like, hey, we're here. Deal with it.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Were you able to recognize everybody without their headsets on?
Yeah, I think the only one I probably wouldn't have would have been a Wolf in VR. He's great, but he just did a live stream showing his face, for the first time, like a week and a half before this or something like that.
Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah,
we went as Upload VR correspondents, and so we didn't get like the ambassador treatment. All the ambassadors got invites to go to this Metastore opening, and they took them all over San Francisco on a tour bus and showed them Alcatraz and took them to Hard Rock Cafe and all this and all of that. And they were there I think 2 days before we went. We really were only planning on being there for 1 day. We were just going to fly in, boom, do the thing, jump back on a plane and bounce. But when we got there and it was Gamertag VR, Soul Fox, Steve Knows, Tatiana, VR Gamer Dude,
Dave Duggan,
dude,
Wolf in VR.
It was ridiculous.
I'm so jealous.
All of these creators that we love and look up to and admire and work with regularly. Techman, dude. It was overwhelming, So we were like, okay, well, we're going to be wherever you guys are. We're following you around, and we're going to stay an extra night. So we did. We got a hotel room, stayed the extra night, made sure we had a chance to hang out with everybody that evening, and it was rad.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Metastore was cool. It was a store. We didn't really get
store,
We didn't really get the on-camera interview action that we like to get when we go to these kinds of things. They were a little cagey about talking about the store opening, and we did what we could. We actually got a bunch of thoughts from the creators that were there. We talked to GT, and we talked to Steve and Soul and all those guys. So that was pretty cool. And the store experience was pretty awesome. For the most part, it was cool, whatever. But it's really all about meeting everybody, getting to meet those people, especially some of those guys who we've known for years. To meet up is really something special. And I know that that's something that you definitely know about, Adam. We've seen you at multiple conferences now.
It's hard to miss you guys. Even if I'm not, intentionally looking for you guys, I'll run into you. It's inevitable.
I know Alex is so tall.
Yeah.
It's hard to miss.
That is it. That is it. What's funny? Techman came up to me and he was like, "Dude, you're not short." He was like, I thought you were short because you're always next to Skiva. I wasn't expecting you to be a normal height. And I'm like, dude, what? What are you doing to me, man? Everybody thinks I'm a short.
Well, now everyone thinks Gamertag's short and Steve's short, and now everyone's short but me.
Yeah,
I'm the only normal.
That is pretty much it. Everyone is short but you. That really is the reality of it. I mean, we're not lying, peeps. Like, you can watch this show and you can like think that like that this dude is tall, but I mean, Adam can tell you, like, you meet this guy and it's kind of intense. You're like, wow, you're a tall guy.
Well, even before actually, meeting him IRL, just seeing, even his After the Fall avatar, I'm like, I didn't know they could stretch him that high, or even in Neos, it's like, wow, is that like for scale? Yeah.
Yeah,
pushing those models to the limits, man.
For real, right? It's great that you're able to adjust your avatar size to match your actual height if you would like to. Or I can know what it's like to be the same height as everyone else and look people right in the eye.
Which
probably, thank you, VR.
Does that happen more often? I feel like they probably standardize the size of avatars more often than they like capture.
Well, yeah. So usually in social things, there's in the options you can set your height. What you actually are, and then everything scales automatically. But if you don't bother, then you're going to come in as like whatever the default is. Yeah.
Butter something, what up? Thanks
What's
for
up,
being
man?
here, Butter something.
Hey.
Oh, is that Master Cool? It is.
Ooh.
Hey,
What's up, Eric?
Good for being here, Master Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, not Mash Daddy Cool, Master Cool.
Oh, Master Cool. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
Yeah. But I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
We're the same person, right? We finish each other's
Thoughts
all the time. It's crazy. Mepper's here. What's up, Mepper? Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you, Meps.
How you doing?
All right, so I want to start with Adam Bombardi this time. You
Cool.
know what I mean? Like, I want to dive in a little bit.
Yep.
I want to get to know you a little bit better, if that's okay. Can we do that?
I suppose that's okay.
Sweet. right.
Jasmine? Is it Jasmine?
It is. Oh my gosh, my real name.
Jasmine. Oh, it's so nice.
I've always been curious as to what people think. Well, I guess now it's too late, but I was like, what name would I look like before having known, my real name?
Adam.
I don't know, but I was curious.
Adam is what I always thought it was, right? So, yeah.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Get to the Choppas here. What's up, baby? Good to see you.
Hey, what's up? Get to the
Good
choppa.
to see you, dude. Yeah, so it's Jasmine. How many people know that? Are you like, do you kind of like, try to go as Adam Bombardi like everywhere you go, or like, is there a certain point when you meet people like, okay, so anyway, I'm Jasmine, like, or do you like really embody Adam? Like, do you like that people call you Adam? I feel like that's kind of the default nickname for you.
I usually will have people call me by Adam, but it depends on the setting. So for like, if I'm introducing myself to other creators, or people who maybe have only known me from YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever, I'll just go by Adam. But it feels almost awkward when I'm introducing myself to like a developer or some kind of industry professional and be like, yeah, I'm Adam Bombardi. And I usually just give them my, normal my normal name, my real name, but then look at to see like username and stuff on a business card or whatever.
Yeah, that's literally why I went with Alex VR, because I did not want to have to do that. I was like, nah, I don't want to have to reintroduce myself later. If I stay with Alex, it'll always be Alex.
I just figured I'll just be Skiva, and I'm Skiva no matter what. So,
yeah, and no one knows Skiva's real name, not even me. All right, that's a lie.
That's so not true.
That's
I
not
do not
true.
hide my name.
That's not true. But I don't.
As I saw it in
only
the
to
email
Alex.
correspondence.
I actually don't call this guy Skiva off camera, though. Can you believe that? If it's just us.
It's kind of interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, this show's about Adam, not you, okay?
Yeah, it's true. Skiva Bombardi.
Skiva Bomb.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a couple guesses in there, by the way. Get to the Choppa said Nuke, right? That could have been your name, that inspired you. Try Wary Wolf went with Charlie or River.
River. I love that name.
That's pretty good.
I tried to name my daughter that, and the wife at the time
Tried?
was like, yeah,
Aw.
I tried, but I got vetoed.
Ouch.
So.
Well, that's too bad.
Yep.
Let's get you another, and you can name it whatever you want.
No, thank you. I'll have a little VR baby, maybe.
Yeah. little simulated baby Skiva Bombardi. Heard that, tribe. So where does Adam Bombardi come from? Tell us about your inspiration for the name, for the tag.
So I was and still am a huge fan of Fallout. So I kind of grabbed the name from Atom Bomb Baby, which I first heard from like Fallout 3, I'm pretty sure. And then at the time, I was competing in bodybuilding, not like the steroid huge division, but there's different divisions of musculature. So I did the bikini division, which is the slimmest. And so that's where I didn't want to be baby, like Atom Bomb Baby just sounded weird to me. So I wanted to sound a little tougher or something. So I was like, yeah, let's just tack on body.
Nice.
And there we go. Not too much of a creative name, but at the time I was so sure. I was like, you know what? My branding's going to be all about cosplay and fitness and gaming. But then eventually down the line, you realize, holy crap, that's a lot of that's a lot of different genres to try to mash into one. But I still kept the name because I still love it, and it kind of goes back to my roots, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you know, ultimately, you know, like I said, I ended up landing on Alex, right? But I toiled for weeks trying to come up with the perfect name. And I first came up with Alex, and then I spent 2 weeks just like coming up with all kinds of stuff. And like, I mean, I had some wild ass ideas for my name, to be honest. I'm glad I didn't go with any of them, you know, because it would have been, I don't know. I'm glad I went with Alex. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't really matter, you know, which is kind of interesting, right? Like, we've got people like Paradise Decay in the chat who people know by name. Like, he's like a household item, you know, in the VR community, PD. But like Paradise Decay, what does that have to do with anything? You know, obviously it means something to him, but like, you know, if like at face value, it doesn't tell anybody what he's doing, or it's not VR related, and it's not a person's name or anything like that. But instantly we associate what's going on there. You know, like you say Paradise Decay, boom, right away I know exactly what you're talking about, you know? So it's cool to like have inspiration, but at the end of the day, all you got to do is own it, you know?
I guess as long as you're not like another ninja, right? Because unfortunately now anyone named Ninja after Ninja is just like a ninja copycat. So like, I feel like as long as you're not sort of have a similar name to one of the top ones, because then people just assume you're a copycat, which is really unfortunate. Because I've seen some people that were like, oh, like Ninja Black or Ninja Sky something, but then you can only think of like Ninja, which is
I mean, he took the world by storm, right? I mean, he was one of the best competitive gamers out there that streamed, and good stuff.
By the way, I'm pretty sure Paradise Decay was the name of his old band. I think he used to be in a band that was called Paradise Decay, or maybe they had a song
that's cool.
called Paradise Decay.
Maybe he'll tell us in chat.
Yeah, he's here. You can reveal the origins of the name. I'm pretty sure.
Or we should wait until he's on the show.
PD, save that for when you're a guest
spoilers.
on Between Realities. And you know, Ninja, right? Ninja's got the blue hair, and we've got Adam with some amazing fiery red hair. I've noticed that like a lot of times, like content creators and streamers, they go for that like really bright and exciting hair color. Has this been something that you've always done, or did you dye your hair when you became a content creator? And like, how did you like kind of, I don't know, when did you decide, oh, I'm going to go with a super awesome, bright, exciting color for my hair?
I would say it was even, it's had many different iterations. So I think even before I decided to become a content creator, I liked the idea of short hair because I loved Sailor Moon. So I had that super long, like down to your butt hair that was awful because it got stuck in everything and was so high maintenance. But so eventually it would get cut shorter and shorter until I settled on the shaved side with the, you know, swoosh or whatever you want to call it over that. But I had always loved red. Anytime I would make a character in a video game, they would have red hair, like bright cherry red. And I loved Rain from Blood Rain. I thought she was, you know, a super like kick butt girl. So eventually I was like, you know what? But just do it and see what happens. And then I've kind of kept that ever since. And, you know, I realize those, it does help because if I do ever meet someone, I mean, I don't like have a hidden identity, like people, my face is whatever, it's out there. But I feel like I'm slightly more recognizable, at least when I'm at like a convention. You can't kind of miss the red hair, regardless of if I'm wearing a headset or not.
Totally.
And
you've
so it just
got
makes you
your
super
own
happy.
style too, you know, like you definitely like still have like revolved around that like kind of pinup style, you know, like the dresses with the patterns and stuff on it. You definitely have a distinguishable look about you. There's no missing Adam if she's cruising around on the convention floor.
I think that a lot was inspired by Fallout too, like just that whole era. I don't know. I just love everything about it. I always need more.
Mash Daddy Cool is here.
Oh, what's up, Eric?
Little Eric. Mash Daddy Cool in the house. Q2C gamer. You know, Reality Bites. I guess like a million other things. He's like everywhere and he's doing it all.
In it to win it.
He's in it to win it. The VR Realm is also here, Mr. Paul.
What's up, Paul?
Oh, hey.
We like the VR Realm. Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. You know?
Heck yeah.
Thanks
Good
for
stuff.
hanging out. Yeah, I basically assume if I'm at a convention and I see a hairstyle that incorporates like some Roy G. Biv action, you know, like any of the colors of the rainbow, that they're a content creator or a streamer. I feel like it's almost like an easy way to identify yourself as someone who makes video content, especially like in gaming.
Yeah.
You know, would you say that that's true?
It's funny because if I'm at like a more industry event, like a GDC, I feel like, okay, it does help me stand out maybe from a business perspective. If I'm talking to someone, maybe they'll remember me more. But when I'm at something like a TwitchCon, then I just feel like, oh, now I'm just one of everybody else. You know, I kind of blend in with the crowd more. So yeah, there's definitely like two sides of it, but I enjoy it. I feel like it helps. Anything that helps me be more memorable, I suppose, hopefully for good reasons and not for bad reasons.
Always for good
I'm
reasons.
all for it.
Always for good reasons with you.
But at the same time, I probably won't be able to get away with a crime. Look for the girl with bright red hair and pin-up look.
Yeah.
So
I know. Tell me about it. I always wanted to be a bank robber, but they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know who it was. He was wearing a mask. I mean, he's 6'7" and huge, but I don't know. I don't know."
Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Those hopes and dreams are just dashed now.
Oh well.
Ridiculous. Mike Newton's here. Nearly missed the weekend. Dude, I don't know what we would have done if you didn't show up, Mike Newton.
Dude, I know, Mike. I wasn't sure what day it was.
You're in over your head here, buddy. Like, if you don't come, there's going to be problems at this point, you know? So thank God you showed up, man. Thank you for being here and for ringing in your weekend with us. Also, Arcanian's in the house. Did you miss
What's up,
much?
Arcanian?
Yeah, you missed the beginning, dude, and it was crazy and epic, and definitely rewatch it so you see it. You
Weird stuff happened.
Yeah. So what are you typically doing when you come to these conventions, Adam? Because like, you know, we are usually pretty busy and we'll like kind of see you in passing and maybe we catch an after party or a few minutes on the floor. But I actually don't really know like how your time is spent when you're going to these things.
Yes, it depends. A lot of times for the bare minimum, I just want to talk to the developers, maybe do a quick interview, get some insight on what games we're seeing at the show floor. But as you know, for the live side of things, I'll also try to work with them like, hey, by the way, I also work for live. You know, if you want a very interesting way to portray your game, either for, you know, trailers or for content creators to use, you know, I happen to have an in and I could give you all the information you need to be able to do that. And it's freaking awesome. So it's kind of like two different sides. There's Adam Bombadi, who loves talking to, or Adam the creator, I guess, who loves talking to these developers and just getting more information about their games. But then there's also Adam, who works for live, who still for the creators, but just want to get, you know, our SDK in as many games as possible. And I feel like I can build better connections with people getting to see them in person, because sometimes emails will get lost, or, you know, people get busy. You can't see my red hair except for maybe my tiny little email icon, so you can't, you kind of forget. I don't know, but
you need to see it.
Multifaceted.
Yeah,
So
I mean, go ahead.
So your content, your YouTube content, is all about, or at least it was, and maybe it's changed, but it was about like showing other content creators how to work all the tools, right? And to kind of get people to be able to get involved in streaming and showing off VR. How did you come across, like, how did you think of being the content creator for content creators?
Yeah, so I would say definitely that's my bread and butter, so to speak. All of the convention stuff is like things I just enjoy for fun, even if I realize, hey, people may not come to me for, convention interviews or whatnot. But for the VR tutorials, I actually haven't been into VR that long. Before all the VR content creation, I was just normal streamer. I did desktop games and variety streamer, all that kind of stuff, until I brought my original HTC Vive back out of the box, because it had been sitting there being sad for a while before Half-Life Alyx. And because I was streaming at the time, I was like, okay, how the heck do you do this? So I had to watch a bunch of different YouTube videos. And as we know, technology changes and upgrades so fast. So I had to kind of compile a bunch of different videos into something that worked again. And I figured, you know what, if I'm having this much trouble, once I figured out, maybe I should put something out there to help other people. And then that kind of just spiraled down a rabbit hole of like, okay, now I have to figure out, how do I bring chat into VR? What are really cool, interesting ways of showing off VR besides just in your typical first person? Because I mean, you guys know there's a bunch of nuances that come with streaming or recording in VR versus just nice straight from desktop, where it's just like, okay, boop, I'm just going to add this source and there we go, and everything's nice on one screen here. So it's I
don't think people realize it, right? I mean, there's a lot of streamers out there, a lot of video game streamers, and for the most part, it's pretty easy to stream desktop games, right? There's not a whole lot to it. I mean, you know, you get to learn OBS a little bit and you're kind of good to go. But VR introduces all kinds of issues. And it's a hard thing, especially to do with one person. because this is a lot of pieces, and if you want it to look good, and there's just a lot going on. So mad respect to all the VR content creators out there, but mad respect to you for kind of taking this all in and trying to make it easier for everyone else, because it is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, especially mixed reality stuff, dude. Like mixed reality, you got to jump through a lot of hoops to get that to work.
Yeah, it's another thing. You know what I mean? And like another thing to stack on top. So yeah, it's hard, but it's great. And we need to do this because people need to know what's going on in the world of VR and what games to play and if it's worth getting into. And so that's great.
Yeah, I think that is just like another very important marketing branch for VR in general. Like that's how more people will, if say, okay, we brought up Ninja earlier. Say if like Ninja did some kind of VR stream, can you imagine what the implications of that would be for people suddenly wanting to, get more VR headsets? And that's just one dude. Granted, a very big audience, guy with a huge audience, but like it's I don't know. I feel like it's very important to the environment of VR that we still have not only the amazing content creators that we have now, but also more. Like it's a continual growth, and hopefully as time goes on and technology advances, things will get easier and easier. But it's still shocking to think that like, oh yeah, around 2017, the original HTC Vive, that's kind of when things started getting a little bigger, and that wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it. It's gone so fast. So fast.
That's 5 years from 2017. It has been a lifetime. At least for me, it's because VR came in and changed my whole life and how I think and what I think about all the time, and like all the things I want to do. It's just completely changed and transformed everything about how I live. And yeah, I can't believe it's only been like 5 or 6 years.
Dude,
I know.
It is wild.
Crazy.
It is wild how fast things happen.
Yeah.
Man. It is. Yeah. I can't believe that we've been doing this for over a year, like
couple
2
years.
2 years.
Two and a half
over 2 years?
Yeah,
What?
like
see, I was just thinking no, yes, it is over 2 years. Like it's crazy. I don't know how all of this happens.
Super fast.
Chroma Snare's here. What's up, Chroma Snare?
What's up, dude?
Says that Adam Bombody sure helped show how to use Live with all of your excellent tutorials. Let's make sure that we didn't lose our stream here, because we can still hear Adam, but my stream died. Are we still streaming? I hope so. I hope this is still live. Let me double check. Okay, it is. We're good.
Sweet.
We're good.
Phew.
So, I would
Technology.
even...
I know, right?
I would even argue that, like, as much that it's happened in VR would never, ever have happened if it weren't for Live. Like, what Live has done is incredible. It is such a great way to show someone what it feels like to be in a VR game by showing them a video, which, Mateo kind of touched on in the chat earlier. It's like, there's no one wants to watch like a shaky first person perspective. You know what I mean? So Live really brings it to life in a way that, that nothing else really has before, or never did before anyway. And, that huge Swan VR mixed reality Beat Saber video just blew up, and all of a sudden, like, VR is kind of on the map a little bit. So you must be excited to get to kind of work so intimately with a company that has done so much for VR. And I definitely want to know how this happened, right? Like, how did you get in touch with Live, and what exactly have you been doing with them since you've been on board?
Yeah, so I originally, as I was going through my various solutions of how the heck do you stream this thing on...
Hold on, Adam. Hold on.
Okay.
Our stream
did it actually go down?
It's stuck loading.
All right, we are live on a new link. So there's that. Maybe we can tweet out a new link as well. That would be super sweet. Yeah. We're not sure what happened. Our internet's fine. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened in YouTube land to cause such a crazy thing. But
I think
back.
we jinxed it, saying that, like desktop streaming's not a big deal.
I know. It's so messed up.
I know, right? I know. I mean, granted, we are a mixed reality stream here as well, so it is a little bit more complicated here as well. But yeah, I think it has more to do with episode 13.
Yeah, dude.
Ooh.
I think that is exactly what happened here. That episode, it's the curse of episode 13. It's the unlucky 13.
The unlucky 13.
All right. Well, we'll give everybody a minute to just kind of rejoin us here, and I'll give me a minute to just get my bearings back, because this is just a stupid thing that happened. I'm not willing to take responsibility for this one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll take responsibility for it. You know what?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I mean,
I bombed the stream.
You did.
It happens.
Adam bombed
It happens.
yeah. I mean,
It's good to know that you guys aren't perfect. Because,
Well, let's not jump to conclusions here.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was a YouTube problem. I'm just saying.
yeah.
It is. I'll post this on Twitter, and then we'll get back into it.
All right, cool.
But yeah, it is. Should I do it on the Between Realities Twitter?
Yeah,
or mine?
yeah. And then we'll
New
just
stream.
retweet it a little bit.
New stream link. I'm just throwing it in just because we got to get this show on the road.
We do.
You know?
Show on the road.
As much as I love YouTube, I hate that it makes you have to do a new link.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it's a weird thing. But,
it does suck. And what's going to end up we're going to need to do now is everyone who watches this is going to have to come back when we post the new episode, because we're going to have to stitch that beginning into this and re-upload it, I guess, as a video. So when that happens, all of these amazing numbers, these incredible views that we've gotten from everyone showing up will basically be back to square one.
It will.
So everyone needs to add this to a playlist on repeat and watch it throughout the night while they're sleeping. So that way we can get back to where we were trying to go. Before we left, RobynzReality dropped a $20 super chat after the stream died. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And listen, if that's what it takes, everybody, we'll pull the plug on our stream regularly. If that's what you like to see. So obviously that's not a good thing. But Rezel, thank you for being nice to us about it, and still being grateful and generous, just like Mr. Mateo 311, who's also dropped a $5 super chat.
Oh, thank you.
He says he understands the pain, and that I know is not a lie. I've seen Mateo go through some brutality on his streams before.
Thanks, Mateo.
And thank you for being here. It's a good thing that only video creators watch us.
I know. They all understand. They all get it.
It's we know you need hugs, because it's especially when streaming gets so discouraged. You're so used to okay, everything's got to be perfect. I don't know about you guys, but at least for me, sometimes I'm if nothing's perfect, then that means no one's gonna come back. They're gonna it's all a facade. She's fake, or it's not as up to par, as up to standard as we expect it should be. And so we go from basically 0 to 50 in the drama level stuff that.
Season one of our show.
Career's over.
Season one of our show for me was an anxiety attack before every episode.
You've come such a long way, man. I gotta say, this whole thing right here was amazing, if I can say that. First of all, we didn't lose the call, so Adam was with us the whole time. She was like, "Oh wait, something's weird. What's
the
going
internet's
on?"
fine.
Yeah, our internet did not crap out, but neither did Skiva. And he was just saying, season 1 Skiva would have been coming unglued right there.
Yeah, what can you do,
falling
man?
apart. And now, man, it's
I did my part. We did all the things right, and then YouTube said,
yeah, taking it in stride, man.
Yep.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
The show was too awesome. Make a new link. This is just too much for YouTube to handle.
The three of us blew up the internet. Too much awesomeness.
It really was.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know what we think is going to change here, right? I have a feeling we're going to keep being awesome, and unfortunately, it's probably going to happen again. But whatever, we'll here.
See what happens.
We're going to keep going. So
we'll see what happens.
Dan Kitty VR is here, saying it was working for Dan Kitty VR. Well, that's great. It looks like this new stream should be good. Most of our peeps are returning to us. Virtual Steve included this time around. Good to see you, Virtual Steve.
How's it going, Steve?
Love some live, so you should love today's episode. Chris Richardson found us. Very good. Yep, Tribe, we're back. Awesome.
Yes.
Yo, fun with the clicks. Flying in hot with a super chat.
Yay!
That is a pound.
Mateo. I don't know if you saw Mateo.
We did.
That is not true. You know what? I get socially awkward sometimes. If I don't happen to run into you and I'm back in my hotel and comfortable, it takes a lot for me to go back outside again. It's not you. It wasn't you. It's me.
That's okay. Mateo takes everything personally. He thinks that stream ending like was us doing that to him. It's like, oh, because Mateo's here, we're good. Let's mess this up. Like,
we love you, Mateo.
yeah, we love you so much, dude. Don't worry about it. Just
I wish Mateo would come to some of these conventions and expos over here, right?
He's just saying it's on the wrong side of the country. You know, he's on the east side.
So
I feel like, at least for me, at these events, because I'm an introvert who's kind of learned to pretend to be extroverted in the right location, I suppose, the right situation. So, what I look forward to most is actually after I finish talking to people is actually just going back to my hotel room and just recovering and doing absolutely nothing. But it's not that I don't love talking to people, because when I'm there talking to people, I love it and I'm in the moment. But then I can't wait to kind of go back and recharge and just let my mind vegetate and put on some South Park or something, because that's usually on like every freaking hotel TV ever of all time.
I love South Park.
Same.
But yeah,
Same.
It's me. It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. Yeah. How many times have you heard that, Mateo? 1 million? Yeah. Like me? Fun with the clicks dropped the super chat. All right. It was pounds. Okay. Those are pounds. That's $4.49 in pounds.
Oh, sweet.
And says, can I have your Demio shirt? I need to look cool in my videos. First of all, no. Second of all, you definitely will look cool if you scoop one of these up. And third of all, I recently bought this from the Demio merch store. They launched it like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, maybe. So these are available.
Yeah, lots of good stuff over there.
Yep, you don't have to be, you don't have to be in, all right? Like we are to get this shirt. You can go and buy it.
Yep. Alex bought that.
I bought it.
So
with money, with actual money, with super chat money. So thank you for your super chat.
You didn't.
Okay, so anyway,
cool.
Before the break.
Yeah,
it's a nice way of putting it.
Before the break.
Before the break,
before it broke.
Before it broke. Yeah, right. That's true. Snow Toad back found us. Good. Whew, thanks.
All right.
Good
stuff.
Using your skills. We started to talk about Live. Because we'd mentioned that without Live, there's really not a lot. It's very hard to show off VR, right? And we're pretty sure that it's Live's contributions that have helped VR get to where it is right now. So we were saying it must be pretty cool to work for such an influential company, and we want to know how that happened. So, Adam, what can you tell us?
Yeah, so when I was on my journey trying to figure out how to be able to live stream and record VR, eventually through my Google Foo and research, that's how I came across Live. And seeing all those really amazing mixed reality videos or even avatar creation stuff, I was like, okay, I need to jump in this and figure out how to do this. And so I did. And then more tutorials came out. And eventually I became part of their Live Partner program. And then eventually, even further down the line, I think I even had a very small podcast for a while. I laugh because it's not a thing anymore, so don't look it up. It probably really is awkward anyway. But I had Doom, our CEO, on there just because it was mostly me interviewing people I admired and people who I thought were doing really cool things. And so eventually down the line, I saw that they were hiring for a community manager, and I had never dived into kind of like a more, I don't want to call it industry exactly, but going beyond being a content creator into actually working with a company that where both of our what we believed in were aligned. Like we really just want to be able to help out creators. And so I applied, and I was like, I guess we'll just see what happens. And lo and behold, I ended up getting hired. Although now I've moved up to product development, and you might still see him in chat, but sadly it's Bradley. He's actually our new community manager now, so that's exciting. We've added more creators into the fold, which is super exciting.
Because we were definitely going to get to that, right? Like, because we knew that you were community manager. Oh no, not oops. This is perfect. But like,
spoiler.
No, it's not a spoiler. It's perfect. We knew you were community manager for Live. So we saw Bradley going out for a gig. We saw his video. He's like, yep, community manager for Live now. And what's the first thing in any of our minds? We're like, well, okay, well, what does that mean for Adam then, right? Like, so what did this look like? Like, did you know that you were gonna have a new title before Bradley showed up? And what are some of the things that you do as a product manager now that you weren't doing as a community manager before?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I did know because they'd asked me, hey, we have an opening for maybe bumping you up in a position potentially to product. And actually, even way before we were toying with the idea of hiring a new community manager, I was kind of working a little bit, very light PM duty when we were working on Spaces. And I don't know if it's imposter syndrome, but there were just multiple people on the team that thought like, hey, you would be a great fit for this. And honestly, a lot of my experience is mostly in marketing, but I did a lot of crossover. It's like any startup, you're going to wear a lot of hats. So it's like community management, yeah, but you're doing X, Y, Z and everything else. But eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I know in the past that a lot of times having imposter syndrome has stopped me from potentially taking opportunities that I wouldn't have. So I'm going to, I'm going to go into this and do the best I can, do the most research I can. So specifically, I'm actually going to be a product manager for avatars. So a lot of the avatar development, because we have a couple of other things Liv's working on. Luckily, it wouldn't be just me doing all of the Liv stuff. And I'm super excited for that because they're, in some ways, I don't want to say avatars are easier than mixed reality. That's not the correct word. There's more creative things you can do with avatars versus mixed reality because you're more limited by physical cameras. But with avatars, you have virtual cameras, so you can. Anyway, but there's so many avenues to explore with it, and I'm really excited. We're starting off with getting avatars for Quest native games. We've got an SDK in a couple of games, and we've got a couple of testers trying it out, but it's working so far, which is good. So I don't know. There's so much, but it's just an interesting avenue for me. I would say it's still definitely a step up, but I would be lying if I wouldn't say I was researching things VTubers using now, even if they're not VR VTubers, or just everything. There's so much, but I love it.
And for people that might not know, Liv does do a lot of things, right? We kind of look at Liv as a mixed reality platform, and that's about it. But it's not. It does a lot of things. And what you're talking about is avatars. And what we have here is a video where Liv is replacing, instead of showing the actual person playing the game, you are bringing in an avatar into the environment instead, right? So this is really, really cool. So for people that don't want to have themselves in there or want to embody a different type of character than the one maybe in the game, you can bring in your own avatars.
Well, the big thing for me when I see something like this is that not everyone has a huge green room in which they can be chromed out of. And I imagine that doing this allows people with smaller play spaces or without camera setups and light setups and all of that to get, Live style mixed reality footage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, there's so much, and especially now with there's so many avatar types out there too. You have your more anime Vroid style avatars if you wanted to make your own or commission your own, or there's even Ready Player Me if you want one that looks just like you just upload a photo and bam, maybe you customize a couple things after if it was a little off. But yeah, it's crazy because even now with face tracking, it's really getting there, and VTubers are just on the rise. We see them a lot, specifically for at least VR. A lot of them are in VR chat or Rec Room or Neos. And if you look at Twitch, the variety of VR streams are in VR chat. So that would be it's a huge sample of people that we feel like, well, they've done an okay job. There's definitely more that we could still do when it comes to avatars and VR.
Mm-hmm. So as you are moving into this new position and leaving your old position behind, are you training your replacement? Are you working with Bradley and kind of talking to him about the stuff that you had, and is he taking on some of the projects that you were on now? Or are you still kind of involved in some of the ways that you used to be?
Very briefly, I for the most part, I trust Brad. He has already grown his own brand very well, so I know that he has, well enough of a marketing and community background. Well, he'll be fine. But there's just maybe a couple of Live specific nuances that hey, this game's supported or this game isn't. But for the most part, I let him know, hey, he has some really exciting ideas that I don't know if I can say yet. I think he's told you guys, but they involve
he has actually. Maybe. Wait, no, I can't. Wait, can we? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe we know
not.
something. Maybe we don't. All right. Maybe we know. Maybe we
Being
don't.
as ambiguous as possible as the new community manager, he has a potentially a place for hangouts to have live involved stuff, which is being built. So I'm just gonna leave it at that because I know he's got some teases coming up eventually. But I'm super excited, and it's really nice to see how kind of different of a style that he has. Like it's not bad, it's not better, it's just different.
Right.
I mean, I think maybe it could be better because I feel like I did a lot of just foundational work, to be honest. But it's really fun to see. So, but yeah, otherwise, I'm more than happy to, for the most part, give him free reign and see what he brings to the table. Yeah. But I imagine it's going to be awesome. Like I'm super excited for the things that he's talked about.
That's so great.
But I'm around
Brad's
for some of those awkward developer relationship things where, you know, I'm going to be getting those emails for a while, probably, which is fine. Like, you know, I'll pass on to him. But
is Live a big company?
Excited.
Like, are there a lot of employees at Live?
17 of us now, I believe. So I guess it depends on what you view as. It's pretty big for a startup, I would say. And we're still working on hiring a couple more. Someone specifically that works with Unity. And if you could get like another avatar as like an IK specific person on the team. So there's a couple of other positions we're looking for. But yeah, it's grown from just, you know, like 3 dudes in a basement pretty much in San Francisco.
Right. And I mean, I love seeing all of these different games get Live support, you know, because for like a while, it was almost like, you know, Live support is for these games. And that was just kind of like, there was just like this little, I don't know, section of games that you could play and, you know, you could get some mixed reality footage in there. But now like games are coming out and Live is going into them like so fast that I don't even realize it. I'm like, oh, wait, After the Fall has Live support? Like, whoa, you know, like that's so cool. Exciting.
Yes, that one we were super happy about. And yeah, I did a couple. But yeah, basically, anytime there's a new game that comes out or that we find has the Live integration in it, just me, not as Adam the Live employee, but me as a creator, I'm like, I want to get this game just so I can make really interesting looking content around it. And that's kind of the flywheel that we go by too, because Live, you know, we want to be able to get creators more content. We want to be able to get developers more sales by, you know, getting the creators to get the game, but also having better ways of kind of showcasing their games through trailers or whatnot. So we kind of work as a flywheel to try to help both developers and content creators in a nice balanced ecosystem, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's great.
You know, at the Meta Store, we asked all the creators that were there as ambassadors. We asked them, you know, what was like the highlight, you know, or I would also ask like, what caught you off guard? What were you prepared for? You know, something like that. And most of the answers that I got for those were talking about the mixed reality setup that they have at Oculus in the store, you know, and I'm pretty sure that's not Live, right? Like that's like a different. Like
that's
probably Oculus's own MRC.
Yeah, it is different. But you know, they had real VR fishing in mixed reality in there. And, you know, the one thing about their setup that is just not even close to what Live is doing is the amount of like latency in between like the movement and stuff like that. It does an okay job of cutting the figure out in the space, but for the most part, it's like the latency of the movement. And I mean, Live is just 1-to-1 and you can change it around.
Live is definitely super high end and produces really, really amazing looking footage. I mean, you can really, to me, it would be very strange to release a game and not put Live support in there, because I mean, how else are you going to show people what it's like to play your game? You know, I mean, I don't think anyone could look at something like this Synthritis footage here and not understand what you're going to do in this game. Like it just shows it perfectly, exactly what's happening, right? And it looks great. It makes your game look awesome. This is just the way to go. I mean, mixed reality is everything, man. You know, like you were saying before, Alex, mixed reality is probably responsible for getting VR to kind of where it is today.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Fallon would not be showing a first-person view of Beat Saber on The Tonight Show.
Right.
Period.
That was so fun.
Did you guys all lose it? Did you lose your minds when that happened for the first time?
Well, you know what's funny? Someone like randomly just tagged me in that. Like I had no idea it was a thing, and then someone tagged us, and I was like, "Holy crap! Like I need to share this with the team right now." And so then, you know, we got all excited and put it on socials everywhere. that was fantastic. I think we're also on, well, not we as a team, but Liv was used on like Conan, and actually this is the second time I believe that Jimmy Fallon's used Liv for Beat Saber type stuff before, except this time it looks a lot more smoother and a lot better calibrated. But yeah, it's just super exciting to see, and I don't know, it makes me happy too, because even with the Synth Riders video, that's like, you know, you've got Nazy, who's amazing, collaborating with Toge, who was the one who did all the filming. Like he's on a whole another level when it comes to this stuff, man. If you haven't seen his videos, he also has a, you know, Live Masterclass where he goes into all the little fine details, and he's got this crazy like high technical setup, but it's really worth it. But anyway, I get always jealous because there's a lot of really cool you know, Live and mixed reality creators in Australia too, and I'm like, so far I want to hang out in the studio and do some cool
I want to go to Australia.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Yeah,
I guess they have big spiders, but other than that,
I think everything there wants to kill you.
Yeah, like everything's super scary. Even the cute stuff, like platypi.
Yeah.
Platypi have a poisonous barb that will completely ruin your life.
Really?
Yeah, like literally they will kill you.
That's
of course.
interesting.
It's a platypus. It's so cute. I would literally try to cuddle that thing, and then it's boom. Oh.
Leave it to Australia.
I know.
Oh, well.
Rest in peace, Steve Irwin, man.
I know, right?
Diving in with a stingray. Done deal. Psh, Australia, man. That's brutal.
Too bad. Yeah, it is.
Crazy how much his son looks like him now, though. It's so cute to see.
real.
I'm like, I don't know if you've seen what he looks like lately, but I'm like, he's like a spitting image of his dad.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty
cute.
cool. It's pretty cool.
So Liv is not just this amazing type of footage that we're seeing right here. Of course, I say that and there's no person in the scene, but so Liv gives you mixed reality, and as we saw just a minute ago, it also has avatars that you can put in here, but it also now is a full streamer kit. So if you want to stream and be able to see your chat, you are also able to do that.
And a few people in chat, in our chat, have been talking about that like smooth camera stuff that
we will get to that. Yep. But right now, if anyone that wants to stream can use Liv, not use any of the mixed reality stuff if you don't want, and just be able to kind of see your chat and see your hands and be able to kind of see what's going on, right? This is a full streamer kit, so you don't have to use OVR Toolkit and things like that. You can use Liv instead. So that's pretty awesome.
It's free. It's all free.
And it's
you have
free.
to pay for.
That is amazing.
All the whole toolkit's free.
Yep.
How does Liv make money?
Currently investors, but we are looking down the lines for more like marketplace kind of ideas that are really cool. I don't want to talk too much about it yet, but we have some really cool like ideas based around creators being able to sell, you know, avatars or different camera plugins. There's a lot of different options we can explore. We just have to work on building the foundations of like what would that platform look like, how it would function, and all that fun stuff. But yeah,
that's cool. Nice.
Well, so tell us about this smooth camera thing. Like, is it a big deal? People make it sound like it's a big deal.
Yes, so it works with any open VR game. So that means unlike the like mixed reality and avatar stuff, the developer doesn't need to have an SDK. It should just, as long as the game doesn't have like easy anti-cheat, which just kind of messes with everything, and it's an open VR game, which the majority of them are. It's basically just open up your game, open up our tool, put that in OBS or whatever, and bam. There's a couple of different options you can select. Like by default, I believe we have roll lock on, which keeps the horizon steady. So if you're like a bobblehead VR player, you know, like this, it won't translate into what your viewers are seeing. We right now you can adjust the amount of smoothing and zoom. Right now we have left and right eye separate, but we're working very hard on the challenge of doing both eye combination first person view. It's just been a lot more challenging than we anticipated originally. But yeah, it's really cool stuff. Especially, I mean, there's a lot of games that do build that in into their games now, but not all of them do. So at least we're trying to help out, and now maybe they can spend time in further developing the game versus having to build out their own creator tools, if that makes sense. And for older games too. A lot of the older games that maybe aren't worked on anymore, you could still use this with those as well.
Nice. I feel like I should be using this camera stabilizer thing.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to implement this on some of the things that we are working on.
Yeah,
for sure. Because this is great. You know, I've heard quite a bit about people that cannot watch VR footage because they are very susceptible to motion sickness and the bobbing and the moving of the head, the panning and the yawing, right? Mm-hmm. It can upset people's motion sickness, right?
One of my mods, like when I moved over from flat screen to VR stuff, he couldn't watch my streams anymore because it made him too nauseous. So that was a little sad. But he says that he can watch like the third person mixed reality stuff just fine. I haven't tested him with the first person stabilizer yet to see how that works for him. But yeah, it's a thing. And plus, when you're in the headset, you don't consider how much you're actually moving. But then when you look back on it, especially if you compare it to like a first person desktop capture, it's like, geez, you have a GoPro on or something? It's kind of crazy.
And this is one of the reasons I like Nathy's streams, right? When Nathy plays games, he tries to not move his head left and right, and he really sacrifices his own immersion and his own gameplay experience to try to make the footage not make the viewer want to throw up, right? But you have fixed that by using this tool. You don't have to go in and run a mixed reality calibration. You turn this thing on, it stabilizes your footage, and you're able to make awesome content. And I think this is such a big deal. It's such a big deal because VR can look, from a first person perspective, can look pretty crappy because of our head movements translated into 2D. But this looks absolutely incredible.
Please make a huge announcement when the two eyes come together. Because that to me is a thing, you know, like I've been capturing VR footage for a while, and like it's always like slightly off center if you're not remembering it because you're only getting left or right eye. And I think that's going to make a lot of creators really happy.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. We think so too. It's a big priority with something that we're working on. Is just, I feel so bad because a couple members of the team, they're like, yeah, we could do this. And then they're like, oh, this is a lot more complicated than we thought it would be. So you got like these nice big team meetings where all this working together, trying to chug through a bunch of code and stuff that I don't understand to get this functioning. But it is definitely the next biggest thing on our priority list when it comes to the first person stabilizer. And it's still like, I would call it beta. It's brand new. We just launched it like a couple of weeks ago. So it works for the most part, but we're still discovering, you know, some oddities, like with particular games. In certain ones, maybe the gamma might look different. And it's something that we just didn't anticipate because they might be using a custom engine or something. So little things still come up, but we're trying to work on it and keep improving things as they go. But it's exciting. I've been loving it.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. And yet this still isn't all Liv does, right? Because there is another thing that you guys just recently showed off, and that is volumetric capture. This is so weird, but so amazing. So on the screen here, you'll see a game in a globe, and you can grab that, you can put it over your face, enter the game, pet your avatar friend on the head. Right? This is just so cool. I'm not exactly sure what the use case is for this, right? I mean, I'm sure there are some, or you guys wouldn't be making it, but this is just a really cool effect.
What is going on in this video?
It's something interesting that has kind of been a big pet project, but basically what you can do is you can, through virtual cameras, you can record yourself in a VR game, take this VolCap with you and sort of put it into any space in VR or on the web. We're working on being able to get on the web as well. But it's sort of being able to record like little moments in your gameplay experiences. So people can actually, as you probably see from the video, you can take this thing, kind of bring it up to your face. It's 360, it scales, you can change the shape on it. You can do, we haven't narrowed down what a specific use case would be for it because there's just so many things it could be used for. But it's been in the works for a while now. And being able to see this in, I don't want to say in person because you're in virtual reality, but when you're actually in there playing with this thing, it's like your brain kind of breaks a little because you're not really sure, like, how is this working? It's almost like a hologram, but in VR, but you can, like when you're rotating it, it rotates how it should be. It's even hard to explain, but it's a really, really interesting feature.
Really
I'm so
cool.
proud of the team for like, I don't know. All this, their brain power is just way too big for mine. To be able to technically explain it, I don't think I could.
Dude, it captures the environment too. Like not just you and your movement, like the environment, and it captures the entire game. Like, but then it like puts it in a box, like
or a ball
or a
globe.
sphere. Yeah, and you can see it's obviously like not one, like it's like a scaled down version or something. It's almost like an animated GIF, but in 3D, and it's you, and you can go into it.
Yeah, or you could send it to other people, or you could. We're experimenting with like, okay, would people want to have like be able to send these to friends, where you could see this on the web or in VR? Like, hey, check out this awesome Beat Saber moment I had, or whatever. In their VR games, doesn't have to be Beat Saber. I think we threw Gorn in there a little bit too. We were experimenting with that just for funsies. But yeah, it's really interesting stuff. I know that our CEO has been working so hard. He's shared this with so many investors. I probably can't say which ones, but they are big ones, and they are all very excited for this. And so we're still, plugging away at
I think
being able to get this to work on web too, not only just in VR. So
that'd be sick. Yeah. And I can imagine I'm not even going to bother. I can imagine what this would bring to something like esports. Like, can you imagine playing esports and being able to go in and kind of look around the environment, see how certain kills were made, where people were hiding? And I mean, it just looks so cool. It's such an interesting way to perceive this reality, right?
I imagine these spheres like being on pedestals in front of doors to other things, like if you're like gonna go into like a Beat Saber world, like this guy would, like this thing could be like at the door, so like as you're walking by you see like a little dude in there playing Beat Saber, and then like the next door is Gorn, and like there's like the Gorn sphere there, you can go into that, and like maybe that would take you to the game.
That'd be
so
sweet.
Maybe you could have these like in your Steam VR home area.
It'd be sweet if you could live stream to these things and people could pick them up and kind of look into the live stream. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Technically, I've been told that you can. I don't understand, from my small brain, how the heck that would work, but I was told in theory that you should be able to do that.
You could watch your friend
yet,
streaming. Like, let's say you take the sphere into Neos, like you can like attach it to your friend's stream, watch them, then they're in the sphere, they can like turn and like wave at you. You can then take that into like a different world in Neos and show someone like, hey, my buddy's streaming, check this out.
And web is huge, right? Like Web3, being able to use this through standard internet protocols. That's absolutely unreal. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's interesting stuff. Like, it's still new. Like, we don't think anyone's really built anything like this. Like, you've seen a lot of the like real world VolCap uses by now, where people are doing kind of scans of themselves in their rooms, and that stuff's really cool too. But we're trying to keep things to not, it doesn't have to be gaming necessarily, but it's kind of what we're known for.
This looks like Live. This looks like Live to me. This looks like a Live project. It doesn't surprise me that you guys are doing something like this surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me that you guys are doing something like this, because this just screams Live to me. This is totally the vibe. This is really awesome, and I think chat really likes this too. People who are watching right now are saying stuff like, Wolf Raza said he's never seen anything like this, and that's saying something. And, other people too are just like, whoa, this is super cool. And we don't, obviously none of us know exactly how we want to use this, but we know we like it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you see the possibilities. I mean, we've thought of a few just sitting here, just chatting, right? I mean, this is really, really neat. I would love to be able to hit the clip button, right? And be able to clip full volumetric captures of the last 30 seconds of your gameplay, things like that. I mean, I have no idea what this takes on resources for your system. I would imagine you guys are working on that, making sure, making it more and more optimized. But I will tell you that seeing things like this excites me for the future of Live in general, right? Because if this is stuff that you're already showing off, I can't imagine what's in these devs' brains right now and what they have planned for later on. I mean, this is sick. Really cool.
Neat stuff. We, like, even at the beginning of the year, we had a big team meeting on, the focuses for the year. And it's always super inspirational to hear. Again, I probably can't say all of it. Like, VolCap was included in that, which at least we've released in our press release. So I'm like, okay, I could talk about that a little bit more now. But there are just so many really cool things that I'm excited to have out there, especially when it comes to VR creators, because I feel like we're so limited in tools in some way, and not to toot my own horn working for Live or anything, but there's not really great solutions out there, at least all in one place.
Right.
Especially, on the Oculus end, unfortunately, it's very, very limited when it comes to just using Oculus specific tools, which I know that they're supposed to come out with an update of some sort sometime soon, anytime now, maybe.
Yeah,
so that'll be interesting to see too.
I was expecting it by now.
Yeah, same.
We were told it would be here by now, actually.
Yep.
We told it would be here in April, I think.
Yeah, we were told April, but definitely by May. So whatever that means.
Come on, Meta.
I know, right?
Come on, Meta. Give us our creator tools.
Meta, I still call them Oculus.
Yeah, come on, Meta. We went to the Meta store.
And saw some metas.
Yeah.
Did you buy any metas while you were there?
I did not. I was just too busy looking for Zuck. Couldn't find him.
I was actually curious. I had a question for you guys, since you've actually been to the store and you've seen their mixed reality, because we kind of talked about this with the team, but one option that we have for creators who may not necessarily have the space or the money for like green walls and green screens is we work with Segmented, which is like an auto background removing company. And it works okay. I think it's a good stepping stone if you want to try it without going and shelling out all the money for the stuff required. But I was wondering how it worked at the Meta store. Did you see anything that indicated?
Yeah, so they used an Azure Connect, and for people that don't know what that is, it's like an Xbox Connect but connected to the Microsoft Cloud, and it's powered through Microsoft's AI and cloud services. But it uses like little lasers that it uses to grab depth information, and it grabs the person and it cuts them out of the scene in real time.
And it does a decent job. It looks pretty good, especially knowing that it's not green screened. There's just in the middle of the room, and there's actually a huge curved TV screen that fills the wall on the other side of them. So no camera would be able, maybe some cameras could do it, but it would be a nightmare for a camera to try to cut something out of that. So the lasers are definitely the way. And, I played Beat Saber, and I actually was watching people use their mixed reality stuff in there, and there's a noticeable latency thing, and everything isn't quite perfectly lined up.
Not live quality.
I really wanted to flex my Expert Plus skills on everybody in there, but I knew that my hands and arms would be moving too fast. It might not sell the effect so much. So I chose an Expert song, but even that wasn't great. And it was in the more relaxed stuff, like real VR fishing, that the effect worked really, really nicely, because it's just someone sitting in a chair.
Throwing your arms around quickly.
Yeah, they're just sitting in a chair. They move their hands a little bit, and it looks like they're sitting there at a dock, and it looks great, especially for just cruising into a store, looking over there, and being like, "Oh, that guy is in that game." You can see it on the screen on the wall. You can see him sitting there. Pretty cool. It's definitely the best anything that I've ever seen in a store. Never seen a store pull off something like this, and I don't think it would work if they had a big, huge green room over there on the other side of the Meta store. They can't do that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing.
No.
But there are VR arcades where you go in and all the cubes are green and they're running live, and you can take home footage and stuff, which is great. I think that's such a good way to be able to promote VR. First of all, the people watching can see what's happening and they can really get a good understanding of what's happening in the game. But then being able to bring that stuff home and be like, guys, look, I went to this great arcade and check out this game I played and here's me playing, and being able to get that footage. I think it's super, super cool.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like a nice little nugget, a personal nugget. And they give it to you at the Meta store. You sign a little thing, and then when you walk away, they will send you a 30-second video of you in the experience, in mixed reality.
See, Live used to have a Live Cube, which is basically a green box with all the lights already built into it that you could take to conventions and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, as someone who loves going to conventions, I'm like, man, that'd be super cool to bring back. But the logistics of it is just it's not like we have a base of operations. There's a lot of us that are in the state. There's only 4 of us in the States, actually. Everybody else is in, various territories in Europe. So it's like, where would we store it, first of all? And then how would we bring this to places, and then the setup, relying on the internet of conventions to making sure you have good enough latency.
Do you have $60,000 for internet? It is absolutely insane what conferences charge companies to have internet connections. Literally insane. I cannot believe that. I'm not exaggerating here. Companies pay $60,000
for a couple days
for internet. For a conference.
It's pretty nuts, man. You know, they know that money's being traded, you know, at these shows, that people are coming there and they're getting business, and they want to take as much as they can for themselves.
Insane.
It's nuts. It really is. Yeah, it really is.
So as much as I, love the idea of that, being able to, promote Live It in IRL conventions and send them home with little snippets, it's not, it's a bit complicated.
It is. But I'll tell you, we're going to get into that. Me and Alex are doing a convention here in Phoenix called the Game On Expo. It's a video game convention, but last time this was on right before COVID, me and Alex provided all of the VR experiences for everyone, free, using all of our own equipment, just because we want people to get in VR and try it and see the magic and get hooked themselves. And
it's a video game convention. It needs to have VR. It has to. Point,
they're not going to bring someone in. We're going to come and do it for them. And so that's what we're doing. And we're doing it again this year. And this year we will have a live station as well, so people can see what's happening. This is in August or September? August?
Yeah, I think it's August. We might need someone from Live to come and make sure that everything's okay.
Come on down.
Yes, I'll have to look to make sure there's not anything else going on. But that sounds so cool.
Yeah,
it is so cool.
I love conventions.
This is my favorite one. I'm not even kidding you, because like all the stuff that we go to is like industry, and this is like gaming celebration, like there's nothing happening but people celebrating video games. So there are retro consoles everywhere. There are arcade cabinets everywhere. People are pulling up, playing games together. Oh, are they playing Magic the Gathering over there? Yes, they are. Oh, are they on Game Boys over there? Yep, that's going on too. Like Atari.
There's like stages with people playing like Rock Band.
Yeah,
like,
and as a band. Yeah, it's so good.
And it's nice to see the stages in technology too. And you've got your retro stuff, but then you've got like VR. It's like through the ages. You've got that's so cool. I want to go to that one. I've heard of it though. I have.
Please come.
Every time I remember to add another convention to my list, I'm like, oh, it just happened. Of course.
Yeah, well, and like we said, the VR that's there is us. It'll just be us, like letting people play Beat Saber and maybe a PSVR with Astrobot on it over here, Tetris Effect.
We'll have half a dozen, maybe a dozen VR stations. So it's gonna be a big thing. We're not just like a VR headset.
Right.
We got a lot going on. So. Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm glad that you happened to bring that up.
Is it Hussein X right now with the 3 pound super chat? Bow, 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 bow. That's right.
I love how you do the effect with the button.
I'm just happy I can actually remember which one it is these days.
Oh yeah, I gotta put the things back on the buttons.
Well, no, I'm learning now. Like I've been forced to learn which one it is. But he drops the three. What I remembered are pounds. I think those are pounds, and it says, "Thank you for another atom bomb of a show."
Ooh, yeah.
Well, that was hilarious. Thank you. We love you. We really
Thanks,
do.
Hussein.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate that, man.
So I, a lot of people in chat earlier were talking about YouTube integration. They're like Live YouTube integration. Do you know what they're asking for? Because I actually don't.
Probably because right now StreamerKit, the chat reading program, only works with Twitch. Only because YouTube has been a little notoriously more difficult when it comes to integrating anything. That's why you'll usually see more extensions on Twitch, more cool tools. Let me just say, we have a prototype, or there have been tests done where this might be possible. I don't know if I'm, again, spoiling too much, but it is something that very, very recently we've been looking into harder. I mean, we've always been looking into this, and I have a screenshot of perhaps a prototype of it actually working. So, cross your fingers. There might actually be in the future, it might be feasible to be able to get YouTube chat added onto StreamerKit. Because I've been asking for that for so long as well. Because I stream, well, I don't stream as much anymore because I just don't have time, but I do a lot of YouTube streaming. And I always feel bad when it's like, oh, I have to use another chat program because Live doesn't have the YouTube.
And then I guess we might as well ask, what about TikTok? Will this work with live streaming on TikTok as well?
I don't think we've looked too much into TikTok yet, just because it's so new. As far as chat integrations, we are considering it for a lot of different resolution options, though. Like when it comes to our compositor and mixed reality capture, first person stabilizer, and all that. But as far as the chat integration, that's an interesting one. I'll have to bring that up and see how if there are a lot of people that are wanting this, basically.
Our YouTube streamers in the in the chat right now are definitely happy to hear that you have not been ignoring them. So I'm sure that all of these guys are going to jump on
I'm on your
it.
side.
They are. Reese the King is in the house, of course.
What's up, Reese?
Also been a guest here on the show. Good to see you, buddy. Always a pleasure. Oh, whoa, he's flying in with cash.
Oh,
A gift from the King.
Oh, thank you, King.
King. All right, I said I was learning. I'm not. I'm not. It's Reese the King. And he's got a gift, and it says, also love the work. Forgive me for being late. I was playing Demio.
Ooh,
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
I feel you, man. Demio, last time I played was like 4 hours. It takes your time.
Do you know what would be awesome with Demio?
What would be awesome?
Live integration. Imagine if you could see your friends standing around the table, picking up the pieces, moving them. That would be sick.
I mean, they have their own, like, that basement environment, too, that would look really cool.
Yeah. That would
I
be
agree.
super cool. That would be super cool. So then that brings up this question. Let's pretend I am Skiva the developer. I have a game coming out, Skiva VR, because I'm super original. What do I do? I want to be able to showcase my game using Live, and I don't know how to integrate it. What do I do? What's going on?
Yeah.
How do I approach this?
Basically, to get mixed reality into Skiva VR, the game, TM, you would just have to go to live.tv. We have a section for developers where they can create an account, and the account is mostly just so you can download the SDK for free, but also so if you need any support, you can get that. And we also have for developers a way to keep track of the creators that are capturing content with their game using Live, if that makes sense. So there's all kinds of really nice graphs that are analytics and metrics guy, the amazing Snoopa on our team, who's so fast at everything he does. But yeah, the SDK is basically for free. And that's for the Steam side of things. If you want to get this working with a Quest native game, as long as you have the Oculus mixed reality capture or the Oculus MRC added to your game, it should work with our capture tools. But we are going to be releasing a Live-specific SDK to get our avatar solution working, along with some other things in the future.
Nice.
So this is completely free. If I'm a dev, I
Free
can
for
just
developers too. Yep.
Sweet. I can just
Free
walk
if you're
in.
a creator, free if you're a developer, free.
You're not
Wow.
working for free, are you?
No.
All right, that's
I do
good.
get paid.
That's good.
Are there options? Just out of curiosity, are there any options where like, all right, I'm like grinding away at this game. I got a release date. I have post-launch updates I got to do, but I really want Live integration. Do you guys have a service where you come in and you can implement Live for people? Is this something on the future? Or?
It's tricky to do like remotely without having access to like that developer's actual game, but if there are certain layering issues or just oddities, like maybe if the developer's using a custom engine, because we have one for Unity and Unreal, but if they're kind of in a different box, I want to say, our developers are always more than happy to help walk you through some of the weirdness. Or maybe like in the case with Blaston, for example, we actually did a lot of custom camera work with them. So if a developer wants to go even deeper than just the things you can do by default, we're always open to that as well. Just gotta reach out. We're here. We're waiting.
Nice.
Check out this Atom Bomb Body coffee mug, everybody. You know that
That's pretty sweet, bro.
You can actually, thanks. It's Skiva's. Don't get it twisted. This guy's got a great coffee mug collection, and whenever
it's no German Rifters collection, by the way, but
German Rifter's the king.
He is.
He's got it, but he must have an Atom Bomb Body mug. Honestly, he must.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, coffee just tastes better out of an Atom Bomb Body coffee mug. Everybody.
It tastes so nuclear.
I feel like it's very Vanna White.
I think there's radiation in this. I'm like definitely getting radiation out of this. So go get yourself a mug, people. Be cool like me. Virtual Steve has a cool question in here. So he says, do you think Liv will ever get an avatar MR combo? For example, a Master Chief body with your real head from the camera.
It's hard to say. Like an idea we've had is maybe. Because I'm thinking of Spaces specifically, which was a project that we worked on to try to bring avatars into like a browser. So to give creators a space to hang out with their viewers. And the problem we had with that was we didn't have a way of doing it for mixed reality, just because of the way, like, how would that look? It's not, a flat camera wouldn't be able to translate into something 3D or 360. So something we've been kind of experimenting with, sort of like the Paper Mario look, where it's flat, but it's not something we've been looking too hard into, but it's definitely in the in our brains of like something we could pursue further. We're just trying to see if, hey, is this something that you'd actually be interested in? So also too, if you have any ideas on things you would like to see with Live, or I don't want to say complaints, feedback, constructive feedback, or things that you would like to see improved, you're always welcome to message me on Twitter, Adam Bombardi, or email me at adambombardi@live.tv, because I'm a sponge now. I absorb all that information and I'll try to carry it on to the team, especially when it comes to Avatar stuff. I'm really going to be looking into a lot of the Avatar stuff. So if you're like, hey, this is what avatars are currently lacking in VR, I would love to see XYZ, I would love to hear it. Please. Make my job easy.
Hit her up, people. Hit her up. Like, I'm going to hit up this button because Arcanian came in with a super chat. Oh my gosh, he did. It's $1.79, or it's £1.79. That is pound, right? I'm not getting this wrong this whole episode, am I?
Pretty sure.
That looks like a pound. I don't know. Why am I so American and I don't know things about other places? It says, not as rich as the king, right? Because who's richer than kings? Nobody.
Right.
Not as rich as the king, but buy an espresso on me with that cute little winky face. Say no more.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm going to buy an espresso tonight.
Heck yeah.
And it's coming out of the Between Realities Fund. Thank you for being here and being a part of our show.
Yes.
Which is actually kind of getting close to the end, actually, to believe it or not.
Boo.
I know, it's insane.
Boo.
That break in the middle, like, really like fast traveled warped us to the end of this thing.
Yeah. That's too bad.
I know. We still got a couple of minutes though,
Dang you, YouTube.
I know, right? Yeah, YouTube
What's
messed up.
Yeah. They created a lot more work for me.
Mm-hmm. But let's not do a screeching halt, let's maybe bounce the ball into Adam's court one more time. Is there anything that you want to bring up? Anything that's been unsaid about Live? Anything that you want to ask us? Anything that you find interesting, maybe in the news today? What would you like to talk about before we wrap this up?
I guess a super common question we get asked is, how do I, will this game support Live? Or how can I, as a creator, get this game into Live? And it's just, let them know that you actually want it. Unfortunately, if we do have a modder on our team now, Rye, who's done a lot of the flat screen to VR stuff. He's done Outer Wilds to VR. He's done Firewatch, I believe, to VR. So we actually are working with him now. So he got Live into Gorilla Tag, by a mod, by force. So we may not necessarily, with certain games, we may actually be able to get Live integration without having to, I don't want to say bother the developers, because I think it's a real neat thing to have, but we get it. Sometimes they're working on updates on things. But otherwise, if there's a certain game that you're like, I want to see myself as an avatar or as myself in this game, let the developers know. Be loud on Twitter, be loud on socials. They won't know that you want it unless you tell them. So that's the best advice we can give is, hey, they have to know.
So don't scream at Live that the game that you want to have support should have it. Go scream at those devs that they need to get Live on board, so that way it gets you what you're looking for.
I want to see Live in all the games. I really do. What would be great? And this is probably the most impossible thing in the world, but it would be super sweet if you could put yourself in the game in mixed reality footage and have Live do the coloring, right? So when there's lights happening, it's bouncing off your body and stuff like that. So you don't have to go in and post it.
Actually, it's not in the best of spots right now. It's not very intuitive, but we do have a fake lighting option, which works for avatars or mixed reality. You just have to. It's in the capture section and in the manual tab. So. Wow. Even if you've automatically captured a game through Live and it's already running, just head over to the manual tab and you'll see a bunch of different lighting effects. There's a fake lighting one that reflects the in-game lighting off of you, and then there's various offshoots of that, which makes it lighter.
Wait, hold on. So did you say that it doesn't work as well as we want it to? Is that what I'm picking up? Or did you say it works great?
It would just the spot to find it isn't as intuitive. Like it could be easier to find, but that's why people don't know about it. It's just kind of in a like other section.
That should be like a primary.
Yeah, it should be like right on the front.
Option.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right up in your face.
Write that down, because I know you're going to go back to live after this episode with all the amazing stuff that you've heard here today. So, just jot that down in huge letters, like light fixing as a primary option.com.
.com.
Yes, I will do that exactly in quotes.
Thank you.
That's so cool. Ask and you shall receive.
That's all it takes, Everybody be vocal. And I think that's what she was getting at here. It's like, if you want to see something happen, don't just complain to your friends about it. Like, tell the people who are in doing the games, who are making these programs nicely.
Yes.
Calmly suggest that you would love to see
it
this.
in there, but we can't force a developer to, put the SDK in there. They still have to do the work of the drag and drop, which I'm told it's, a pretty simple thing to add, but we can't force them to do it. That still has to be on their studio's decision.
And a prime example of that is I think everyone's been wanting proper live integration into Population 1 forever. I know we did. We had to make it happen ourselves. So, I mean,
I'm pretty sure that what we did to make that video cannot be done again. Like the dude who we were talking to that like helped make us make that happen said that like the live thing at this point with Pop 1 is like completely like broken and he doesn't know how to get it working.
It wasn't an us limitation either. They just requested that it be locked to like only be able to use first person smoothing because they didn't like how it looked in the third person.
Oh no. Not again.
Uh-oh.
Not again.
Uh-oh. Did we lose it? Can you see
Person
this?
view of mixed reality and avatars. Which, we respectfully disagree, but I guess that wasn't on my video feed now.
Whew, okay.
Oh, wait, there you go. Now you guys are back.
We're here.
Sweet.
That was so scary. Can you guys hear us still? I'm scared.
You disappeared for a second there. You didn't disappear. You just froze. Yeah, I don't know.
Man.
I don't know. Lucky episode 13.
Lucky 13. Anyway, I know why Population 1 would say that. We had to really embellish a lot of the things that we were doing in our video to like sell the effect of some of the things that were happening. Like when you're flying, when you're running, when you're getting out of a pod. A lot of that stuff requires like specific camera angles to look good and embellished movements that are not required by the player to do the thing. So it looks a little awkward when you're like running across the field in MR with Population 1, unless you're like literally jogging in place, otherwise you're just a body just sliding around and it's like, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I feel like that's with almost all games though, unless it's a game where you're standing there like Beat Saber. If you aren't pretending to be running when your character's moving, it doesn't look natural, right? But so you got to do a little bit of acting, and we talked about that with Anna Byrne, right? That when you're making cinematic gameplay footage, you got to do some acting.
Yo, here's something pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Meland is my dad, and he's here in chat right now.
Whoa, what's up, Alex's dad?
Hey, Dad. He's
you
here.
have your wife and your dad to judge you.
I know, it's amazing. I got a supportive family. It only took a couple of years, but here they are, finally supporting my endeavors. My dad is actually an Oculus user and a VR fan as a result of meeting Skiva and I at CES a couple years back when we went, and he had actually never really had any legit VR experiences, so we made sure he did. And after a round of Beat Saber, he's like, oh, I see, and went home and told his wife about it, and his wife was like, we're not getting that, and now she loves it, and he got all of his friends involved. So like he has a whole community of VR gamers that are his buddies that are his age, and they all jump into Golf Plus together, and it's awesome. Like
it's so cool.
It's so great. Yeah. So
thanks,
Pops, for stopping by and commenting. And there's a super chat button down there if you want to make a donation to the show. It's there. I love you.
Yeah, there's a Patreon link as well in the description.
Oh yeah, the Patreon is actually fantastic. That's a monthly contribution to your son's dreams.
Yeah,
I don't think that's asking
couple grand a month. No big deal.
Not asking a lot here. We're not asking for much. Just for you to support your son's dreams.
Oh jeez. Wow.
Not a big deal.
We do love you though, Alex's dad.
Steve VR in the house. Thanks, Steve VR.
What's up?
For that's my dad. That's his new name.
Oh, Steve VR.
Yeah, Steve VR.
Steve VR. Wow, he put a VR on the end of his name. That's so cool.
Converted him.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he didn't. We're just somebody else named him, donned him that. Arcanian gave him the name Steve VR.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe, Dad. Thanks for reminding us. Arcanian. My dad says, been contributing for years. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, we should wrap this, even though this is fun.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess we got to boot you off the ship.
Yeah.
Sad. So, I totally understand. But I did have a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys having me on and for letting me just chat about myself and live. I do get to be a little talkative sometimes, so I apologize. But I've been always, I just want to say I've always loved how ingrained with the community. You guys are some of the most caring people, I want to say, in the VR community ever. You're so supportive of absolutely everybody. You're so positive on the show, on Twitter, in person. Like it's not, this is not a facade, people. What you see here is what you also get if you meet them in real life too. They're not just suddenly going to be like, oh, dude, too good for you. No, they are genuinely the nicest people ever. So to be able to be on Between Realities, I feel like as a guest is I feel like a highlight for a lot of the people that you have
so
on as guests. And like I made it. Like I'm on Between Realities. Mom, I'm gonna go call her right after this. Like, you know what happened today?
You're the best.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much. That is really, really nice of you. We do appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, Alex talks a lot about being authentic, and that's it's really, really important to us that we are who we are here on the show.
Yeah, that's why yes, I'll leave it at that. Yes.
Yes.
Adam Bombadi, has been a pleasure to have you on the show. It's a pleasure to know you. It's a pleasure to do VR alongside of you. And I have a feeling we're just getting started. So, we'll see you soon. I'll see you at AWE in a few weeks.
See you in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. I'll be around.
It's Jasmine. It's Jasmine, Adam Bombadi. Thank you so much for being here, being yourself. And everyone say goodbye to Adam Bombadi. Bye, Adam Bombadi. Bye. Pff, and she's gone. Finally. Just kidding.
Oh, that was great, man. It's always so much fun to chat with our guests, with people that we know and love as friends in the community. From our chat to our amazing guests. It's just great. This is the highlight of my week.
It really is. And speaking of the chat, thank you guys for coming out every week. We know a lot of you watch this show every Friday, and that means the world to us. Yep. You're welcome to miss an episode. I know I sometimes give you, who was I giving a hard time earlier? Mike Newton. Yeah. It's all good. There's absolutely no expectation for you guys to be here for every single show, but anyone who makes the effort, just know that we see it, we appreciate it, and we value your interactions and your contributions in chat so much. So thank you so much for being a part of Between Realities, because you're a part of it. It wouldn't be what it is without all of you guys. Absolutely. And we love you guys. And it includes Bluebell and Hussein X here, Reese the King, right, dropping the super chat, and Fun with the Clicks, who we're gonna, I guess, help him rename his channel one of these days because he's ready. He's looking for. Look, I'm not making fun of him. He said that in chat. He's like, dude, what are you doing, man? He said that in chat, I promise. Lindsay Sherman and Leroy and Duggars K and Short Stack Wolf Raza, Chroma Snare, Surgical Gaming, Snow Toad, Brittany, my dear, Steve, my dad, Chi-Town D, Sampler 19, Arcanian, General XTL. We saw Soul BC. We saw Sadly It's Bradley. We saw PD up in here, and Chroma Snare, and Laszlo, Virtual Steve.
It's a lot of peeps.
Yeah, we saw Delirium. Wow. Chris Richardson and Rezel VR. Dude, Rezel VR, man.
Heck yeah.
Does Rezel VR have any Between Realities merch?
I don't know.
We need to find out.
Yeah.
because there's $10 from WrestleVR. That's the second super chat from him today.
Oh,
and this one says, props for an awesome, authentic show.
Oh, thanks so much.
So thank you, dude. And thank you all for all of your contributions. Thank you to our Patreons. Thank you. Just thank you. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. I mean, should we just say thank you for the next 10 minutes? Just over and over and over again?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like a broken record. What are we doing next week?
Next week we have a super interesting show, something that's very different from the guests we typically have on. So we have the hacker, cracker, and data miner Basti564, who is responsible for almost every Oculus hack that there is out there, from being able to remove Facebook integration from your Quest to a lot of the things that we know about the upcoming VR headsets. Basti rips code apart. And he is a programming and hacker extraordinaire, and we are super excited to have him on.
Sweet. Yeah, definitely haven't had anybody quite like that on the show.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to dive
in. Bradley is the closest. And I mean, Bradley does a lot of the same stuff too. And, but Basti is a huge part of this community on how to, and how we know a lot of the things that we know, and being able to do things with our headsets that the manufacturers do not allow us to do.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I would love to get into some games if we can find some time this weekend.
I'm down. I'm going to be gaming all weekend.
Yeah, Skeeve is going to be gaming all weekend. Join us in Discord, where we have a multiplayer meetup channel that we love to use, and I want our Discord to come alive more, man. It would be so cool if we could just keep things going in there. You know what I mean? So Come make our Discord your new home. All right. Let's hang out in there a little bit more. Maybe we can just jump into voice chats just because every now and then. Let's breathe a little bit of life into it if we can. So join us in Discord, everybody. Maybe we can get into some games this weekend. We will see you a week from now.
Yep.
With Basti564.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
All
It was a pleasure. Until next time.
Adios, guys. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.